out our box. On the table, I'm just going to write everyone's name down in the order of which they got the money. So Al first, then Bob, then Carl, and then Dan. So we know where to start because we are originally getting what Dan received from Carl. So Dan got $9 from Carl, so we already know what Dan got. So based on that, we know that Carl spent $18 and gave 1/3 of what that was, and gave 1/3 of what was left after the 18 to Carl. So we know Carl had at least 18. So 18 plus, and then we're going to make 1/3 of whatever was left. And this is a third, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yeah. So this is 1/3 of what he spent. We know that he gave 9 to Dan, so we can say that the 9 he gave to Dan was that 1/3. So we can already say that this is going to be 9. And since everything in a third is equal, we know that the rest of these are also 9 as well. So then to figure out how much Carl had altogether, we're just going to do 9 times 3 plus the additional 18 that he already had, which gives you 45. So we know Carl had 45. And then we know that Bob spent $3, so we already know that. And he gave 3/5 of the rest of it to Carl. So we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to draw a little box, split it up into 5s, and then we're going to shade in 3/5 of it, so we know that that's what he gave up. And so 3/5 is equal to this 45 because Carl had to get this money from Dan. And so since he gave 3/5 of it to Dan, we know that 45 is equal to 3/5. So we can split this 45 into 3. So 45 divided by 3 is 15. So we know each little box is going to be $15, theoretically. So then we can do, to figure out how much Bob had all together, we're going to do 15 times 5 plus the $3 that he spent. And that gives you $78. And we know Bob had $78. And then Alan, we're going to do the exact same thing. He spent $12. So we already know he had at least $12 because he spent it. And then he gave 3/4 of what was left to Bob. So we're going to draw a little box. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to shade in the 3/4 because we know he doesn't have that. He gave that to Bob. Okay. So we're saying that the 78 is equal to the 3/4 that he gave. So 78 divided by 3 to figure out how many is in each box is 26. So each box is equivalent to $26. And then to figure out how much he had altogether, we're going to do the same thing. So 26 times 4 plus the $12 that he spent gives you $116. $116. So to answer the question, how much money did Alan receive from his grandparents?